Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our admin. The translation of that message reads like this. Hello, how are you? My name is Tavo, not his real name, and I stand here today as a man that was reborn. I once walked a path that was filled with darkness, a path where I sought power and wealth through rituals. At that time, I never even cared about the cost. I had told myself that it does not matter the price that I have to pay. What mattered to me at that time was how much I was going to be making. That was all that I wanted. I walked in that path that was demonic and filled with darkness. But everything changed the day I lost my daughter. It took that tragedy to open my eyes and bring me back to the light of Christ. In my younger days, I was restless and ambitious, drawn to the thought of quick success, quick money, get-rich schemes. I was introduced then to a group that promised me wealth and influence beyond my wildest dreams. They whispered secrets about ancient rituals that could summon our ancestors, their spirits, to do whatever that we wanted and to get us money. At first I laughed it off, but curiosity got the better of me. I wanted to see for myself if these dark rituals were for real. I started observing, taking small steps just to see what it was all about. Over time, I became a fully fledged participant. I offered sacrifices, followed the rituals day in, day out, and I did everything that I was told. I thought that I was in control, but I was blind to the grip these demonic forces had on me. They kept on sucking me in when I thought that I was in control. At first, I tasted success. I had a very little business. Then my business got so big. My business flourished, and money was coming to me as if it was like water. I had everything that I thought I wanted, but beneath the surface, there was always this sense of dread. I could not shake the feeling that I was never alone, that there was always something that was following me, even in daylight. One evening, we performed a ritual that required the pieces of hair of someone that I loved. I was reluctant at first, but I was assured that this was just another ritual, for it was harmless. They said that it was just another step towards cementing my success. My daughter, whom I'll call Nomsa, not her real name, was only 8 at that time. She was the light of my life. Her laughter was always like a melody that filled our home. But that night, without second thoughts, I took a hair, thinking that what I was doing on that night, I was doing it because I wanted to secure my family's future. That was the beginning of my nightmare. Within days, my daughter fell ill. Doctors could not explain what was wrong with her condition. Her health was deteriorating. I watched helplessly as she faded away. Day by day, I begged the spirit that I had once trusted to spare my daughter, but my ancestors, they were quiet. There was only silence. There was this other idol that had been given to me, which was my topology. I spoke with it, and it did not respond to me. It was as if my ancestors were laughing at me, reminding me of the price that I had to pay. My daughter had to die. When Nomsa passed away, a part of me died with her. I then realized that no wealth or power could ever replace the life of my beloved daughter. My heart was shattered, and I was consumed by guilt. I turned to the very people who had led me down this path, hoping they could reverse what had been done. But they only looked at me with empty eyes and cold hearts, dismissing my grief as if it was a necessary sacrifice. When I was really heartbroken and when I was desperate, that was when I turned to the church. I had avoided going to church for years because I had convinced myself that there was another God, a God who could offer you solutions, not this Christian God. I had convinced myself that I did not need to be faithful. Why do you need to be faithful when you are rich and wealthy? I found myself on my knees, begging God for forgiveness. I poured out my heart, confessing every deed that I had committed. I wept for my daughter, and I wept for the man that I had become. I asked God to take away the darkness that clung to me, to cleanse my soul, and to free me from the chains that I had willingly worn. But to tell you the truth, as for the transformation, it was not quick. The transformation was not immediate. As I spent more time in prayer, I felt a weight lifting from my spirit. It was as if I could breathe again for the first time in years. I then found myself reading the Bible over and over again. The promise of redemption, that was all that I needed. And when I would be reading the Bible, I felt so good. Indeed, it felt so good. I began attending church regularly, finding comfort amongst those who shared their testimonies of transformation and healing. Slowly, I started to feel the presence of peace, something I had not known since before I entered the world of rituals. I gave up everything connected to that life, the charms and everything. I took that idol, which was my tokology, and I burned it all. And I just praised the Lord as I was burning everything at the back of my house. When I returned back indoors, I started to cry because I knew that the devil was going to come for everything that he had given me. And that was when I had a voice, a little voice, a soft voice that told me that the devil could not take the riches that I had, for it did not belong to him. Everything belongs to the Lord. If I had faith in God, I was still going to remain as wealthy as I was. Today I stand before you as a living testament to the power of God's grace. I have devoted my life to Christ, and that is why I feel like I need to share my own story so that others can learn from my own life mistakes. I am no longer that man that I used to be. I used to be very heartless. I always say, you should pray that your country should never be run by someone who has done occult rituals. If your president is one who has done occult rituals, if he has that spirit of sacrificing even if his own relatives, imagine what he can do to a country. As Christians, we should always pray for that, to pray at least for presidents. They might be corrupt, but they should not be involved in these money-making rituals. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who helped us with this translation. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.